What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another full self-driving beta video. A little bit different for you here today. So I just wanted to take the time to answer some questions. I get a lot of the same questions, and I'm going to use this video as a reference to really in-depth answer some of these questions, hopefully cover everything. If you have any questions that I don't cover, ask down in the comments, so then you guys can check the comments and maybe get the answers to questions that I don't cover in the video. And while we're doing that, one thing people ask is what happens if you drive with no destination? So we're going to do that today and just let the car kind of drive us around as I answer these questions. No destination, we'll just see what it does. I may correct it here and there so I can go, where I want to go. I have no destination, but in general, I have an idea. Anyway, so let me get into these questions that you have. So the first one's going to be all about bug reports, because people have so many questions and concerns and comments they have about the bug reports. So the basics start as there's a little, whoa, what the heck is that? like, okay, there's a bug report. So I'm going to click that. So there's a little camera up there. And so, yeah, the car's going to go to the right and I want to go left. So I'm going to take over here. And there's nobody here, so going to the middle. Yeah, it's trying to go to the right still. So basically it's just gonna try to exit the roundabout. So there you go. Yep, nobody's around, so I can, okay. Yeah, I wanna go this way. All right, now we're on target. I don't know why wow, I'm not doing a good job answering these questions. Okay, all about bug reports. So there's a little tiny camera icon up there that I can press whenever the car does something weird, or even on Twitter, Andre Kaparthi, the head of AI at Tesla, said if you see something unique, you can press that button to record it and it will get sent back to the team and it can get labeled. They do some manual labeling of what the cameras see. So, people say, why did you report that? Why didn't you report that? Things like that. Anytime I do anything to the car and I interact with the steering wheel, or I press the accelerator, or it sounds like even if I just use the turn signal, anything like that is recorded, and the autopilot team can see any of those interactions that I have with the car. And so I don't always need to hit the button. Okay, we're stopping or slowing there for no reason. So that's another time I would hit the button. I didn't interact with the car at all, so nothing would be recorded, but I want to say that brake was wrong. There was no reason to brake there. So anytime that I think it does something wrong, or I guess I see something unique on the road, I can press that button. Now, I don't always press it, because if I hit the brake, that's recorded on its own. But if it's a big situation where something really bad happens, like that big swerve, yeah, I hit the brake and I turn the steering wheel, but I wanted to make sure everything was recorded, so I pressed it. Now, there was some talk of it only records 5 presses or something like that. I had actually asked the autopilot team, okay, so I guess we're going right here. What's the deal with this? And it turned on the right turn signal even though there's no destination. So I said, what's the deal with this button? Like, can I just press it? All right, we're good to go here. Can I just press it 100 times per drive? Is there a limit? And they told me that, I shared with the other beta testers. We all try to tell each other everything. And they said it's about a limit of 5 presses, but it's not a hard limit. It just kind of depends on the data that's recorded. Sometimes it will upload over LTE. So right now the car has an internet connection to LTE, and sometimes it will upload its data over LTE. Other times it waits until it gets back to Wi-Fi. It's all kind of, there's no solid set in stone anything about it. And at the end of the day, I, myself, and the other beta testers have asked the team a lot. I mean, we want to do this right. We want to report everything right. We want to be as efficient as possible and get this thing working well. We've asked them a ton of times, are you looking for this, or should we do it this way? And basically, at the end of the day, they told us, look, you got to trust that we're getting the data we need. Okay, so here, I've had it swerve to the left here before, and it didn't today. The autopilot team told us, at the end of the day, you just got to trust we're getting the data we need to make the system better. So go out, drive safely. You don't have to do any extra drives. You don't have to aim to do anything. We want your general feedback, and we want bugs, and just trust that we're getting the data we need to make the system better. So the car likes to make right turns, we're seeing, and no turn signal that time. So it's not really a hard, you can only press this many times, or you can only do, this thing or that thing. It's just kind of drive the car. It's sending gigabytes and gigabytes worth of data back to Tesla, and they're making the system better. And we can see that over the course of the videos. Things are getting better. Some things get a little worse. Maybe things don't improve as fast as we want, but it is better than it was. So that should be everything about bug reports for you. The amount of data sent, it's tens of gigabytes per day, depending on the drives you do and things like that. So we got a right turn signal on here for whatever reason. So yeah, that's bug reports. So the other really big one people ask is how do you get into the beta? How did I get into the beta? And they'll comment, how do I get the beta? I bought full self-driving. I would like to be part of the beta. Can I sign up? Whatever. Well, my answer has been, it's just kind of luck. I'm sure that my YouTube channel had something to do with it. I've been making autopilot and self-driving videos for close to 2 years now. And so I'm sure, Tesla brought that as part of their decision. But other people who have no social media presence or had no social media presence before their beta also are being added to the group. Like Brandon, you've probably seen his videos. He wasn't some big YouTuber or Twitter person or whatever. So I guess we're looking for traffic. There's nobody there, so yeah, we're good to go. He wasn't, well known. He was just a guy who in California who had a Tesla with full self-driving, and Tesla sent it to him. So you don't have to be known or anything like that. What I tell people to do is honestly just tweet at Elon. So another break there. It seems to have to do with the crosswalk maybe. We just went in a circle. That's funny. I wonder if the car's just going to keep doing a circle. That would be weird. I tell people just tweet at Elon, get on Twitter and just say, hey, I'd like to be part of the beta. I've seen people that consistently tweet at him or at Tesla in general or whatever. Hopefully that's not too annoying for him, but whatever, people can do that. And then they get into the beta for one reason or another. Maybe it's coincidence, or maybe we know Tesla watches social media. So maybe they see those requests and they look at the data on your car because they can see how you drive and all that, if you're a good driver or whatever. And they go, you know what, this person would be good for the beta. So you just got to keep asking. Other than that, there is no way to, sign up. Okay, another right. Yep, we're just going to go in circles. So if we do another circle, I'll change it up. So there's no way to sign up. There's no way to ask for it besides Twitter. It just kind of randomly comes out to people, and they do seem to be expanding it. We thought there were only 30 to 50 people on the beta. On the Q4 earnings call, Elon Musk said that there are over 1,000 people using the beta, and the guess is, we don't know because in our little chat groups, I think there's maybe 20 of us or something. I don't exactly know the numbers. There's definitely not 1,000 people. So we're guessing it's probably employees, probably Tesla employees, but nobody has said that. Nobody's sure. He didn't say on the earnings call who the 1,000 people were, just that they're using it. So it's just luck. It's just luck. And yes, you paid for it, and I want you to get it. You paid for it. I kind of agree with that, but at the same time, it's not done. And there's a reason it's just not out to everybody. You see people who paid for, their Tesla, and they get in their car and use autopilot on the highway and get in the back seat and stuff like that. So, in my opinion, those people don't really deserve to be using it, but they are. So, tweet at Elon and good luck. How often am I using full self-driving beta outside of my videos? Always. I use it 99% of the time. Okay, it's kind of weird. As much as I can use it. So yeah, we're going to take a right. It's just going to keep going in circles. That's so funny. As much as I can use it, I always have it on. Sometimes if we get a fresh snow, I usually will take our other car because it has winter tires on it. But if I have my car and we have and again, no turn signal there. We have a fresh snow, then I'll take the other car. But if there's snow and I'm driving the Model 3, sometimes I won't, depending on the road, I won't use it just because it's still not that good in snow and I don't want it to slip. But if it's like a slower speed, even on the dirt roads covered in snow, I'll use it. I'll just go maybe 20 or 15 miles an hour. But yeah, I use it as much as I can, as often as I can, all the time. Because, there's a person and their dog, which maybe they're on the display. You can see, well, it shows the person. We actually just saw green on Twitter showed there's going to be a little dog animation, so that's very cool. We have seen dogs displayed on the beta. So anyway, I use it as much as I can. I'm always reporting bugs. I do a lot more than you see in the videos because, of course, I don't record everything that I'm driving. But yeah, especially on my commute, I have a few problem areas that still aren't fixed that I'm always reporting, and I'll send emails and updates to Tesla. So that's the other thing I didn't talk about in the report section is I communicate. Well, I'll just make that. Whoa, what the heck? Okay, we're going this way. Okay, whenever it slips, it freaks out. That was cool. All right, we didn't go in a circle that time. Let's see what you do here. We'll go a little slower. This is a school, but nobody's here. So this will be the next question. When you're reporting, how does Tesla know what the heck you're talking about? So when you press the report button, it records the camera. We don't know exactly what it records, but it records the cameras, a bunch of data, and it sends it back to them. Well, if it's a little obscure, I can email Tesla and I can tell them the time and the day that I pressed the button and say, I pressed the button and here's what happened and this is why I pressed it. So we are in communication with the Autopilot team. Yeah, it has nowhere to go here, so I don't know what it's going to do. We're in communication with the Autopilot team with the reasons, the problems we're having, the reasons we're hitting the button, things like that. So there's somebody sitting in that van over there, so I just don't want to be too weird, like driving right up to them. And so they get that feedback from us in form of, written communication. And sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. And there's a lot of things they can't tell us, and they'll just I don't have an example, but I'll ask a question or somebody will ask a question and they'll say, oh, we can't share that. So they don't give us too much feedback, but they'll say, oh, thank you, sounds good, or we're working on that, things like that. When do I think full self-driving will be feature complete? Now, I'm going to preface it with, I have no idea. Tesla has no idea. Nobody knows when it's, I'll say done. Nobody knows when it's going to be done, in the sense that it's, let's say level 4. Let's call it level 4, let alone level 5. So there's nobody there, but we're just really slow. So now we'll be on a new path here. But what's my idea for feature complete? Well, if you look at Tesla's website, you can go faster. There's nobody behind me, so I'm just letting it do its thing. If you look at Tesla's website, feature complete is whatever's listed there. And so it pretty much is listed as driving on city streets, with which it's doing. It's driving on city streets, it's taking right and left turns and doing all that stuff. But I think people more are meaning, when can I get in the car, have it take me to my destination, get out, and it goes and parks itself. I could see by the end of the year, but it's so hard because 6 months ago, if you would have told me my car would be doing this, no lines, nicely going around this car, taking right and left turns, I would have been like, yeah, maybe, but it seems pretty far-fetched. That would have been my thought. So I think by the end of the year, we could have auto park maybe in a super beta form like kind of this is. We have some people here on the side of the road. Slow down a little bit just to be safe. Yeah, very good, very good. So people are displayed, truck is displayed. So yeah, I think by the end of the year, that's my guess. I don't know. Some people are going to comment and say that's ridiculous. It's not going to even be close to done. Some people will say, oh, I think it'll be sooner than that. But in my opinion, from what I'm experiencing, and again, it's hard to judge because one software update can change everything. But yeah, I would think by the end of the year, it's going to be, I don't know if I can say level 4, but I'll say level 4. Let's just be bold. By the end of the year, we got level 4 and we'll have self-parking stuff. Now we're taking a left. Okay, that's new. Oh, have we been here? I think I've been here before. I think this has been in videos before. It has. Maybe it remembers places I've been. It's trying to guess where I want to go, taking me places I've been before. This is so silly. Okay, the next question, I have them written down here. Are my cameras dirty? That one people ask me a lot. So, yep, dirty Tesla. My car is always really dirty. Like today, I did nothing. So let's look. We can bring up the cameras. You probably can't see them. So yeah, it does look like this camera is a little dirty. Back camera is always dirty, so I'm not too worried about that. But I usually try to just clean them off with my thumb, just wipe it off really quick, and that's good enough. Most of the time, the cameras just don't get dirty. The repeater cameras, they're lower on the car, on the fenders, and those would be at the biggest risk of being dirty, and just honestly, most of the time, they are not dirty. Now that I saw that, part of me wants to pull over and wipe it off, but you can see the car's actually doing fine. This moving to the right thing is just something on this version. It always wants to be to the right. But I may pull over up here and just wipe that camera off really quick. But, despite that, it made a left turn. It's been doing all of this and not having a problem. The only time it errored out is when it slipped. And when the wheels slip, it does error out like that. So, yeah, no, my cameras are normally pretty clean. And I try to check on them and keep them clean for the videos especially, but in general, yeah, I try to wipe them off. So this is a pretty big one. What about different parts of the world? Like in my videos, you'll see my car turns right on red. It'll pass on the right sometimes, which are things you can do in I'll say Michigan specifically. I'm not going to speak for even the entire US. But how is the car gonna, handle these different countries? Well, the answer to that is pretty simple. The car will just know the local laws and regulations and abide by those. And actually, this is already happening. This is pretty cool. Completely snow-covered road, and we're doing pretty good here. If you look at the public version of full self-driving, autopilot, navigate on autopilot, it behaves differently in different countries because it has to. So in the US, I can keep my hand on the wheel, and it'll do everything on the highway. It'll do exchanges, it'll change lanes on its own, it'll go around slower cars. things like that. Whereas in lots of Europe, I don't know the specifics, but in certain parts of Europe or most of Europe or whatever it is, the car isn't allowed to change lanes on its own. So the person, I think, has to hit the turn signal, or they may even have to, I don't know exactly, but they may have to change lanes on their own and then turn autopilot back on. I do know that they need the turn signal on for auto lane changes. Some places need the turn signal on for, a certain amount of clicks or something. And I know around here that doesn't work, because if you put your turn signal on for 6 clicks, people are just going to speed up, so you can't get in. So the system is, we have speed bumps here. I wonder, speed humps. I wonder if it will see them with the snow. So in different parts of the world, the system already behaves differently. So I think that's a total non-issue. So it did not slow down for that. Let's speed up a little bit. Usually it slows down to 16, so we'll see if it'll slow down. That would be cool confirmation that it actually sees them and it isn't just map data. But anyway, I think that's really, really a non-issue of the different localities, because boom, right over that speed bump. So the cameras are seeing speed bumps. That's crazy. I assumed it was map data, to be totally honest, which would be a little disappointing, but it's not, and it's flying right over those. Whereas before, it would slow down on the same street. There it is. It would slow down to about 16 miles an hour for me or so. So anyway, I think localities, total non-issue. The car will not have a problem with that, as long as, maybe there will be some mistakes in the beginning and it won't have everything perfect. But let's see. So that guy got there first. Yeah. So nice and aggressive move by that other person. So my car doesn't have a problem, and my car decides to go straight. So those are the main questions that I had, that I get really often. I'm sure there are more. I'm sure you're watching this saying, like, what the heck, why didn't you answer? To the guy that keeps commenting about the Hot Wheels car, yeah, this guy wants me to put a Hot Wheels car in the road and see if my car will stop for it. I think that's hilarious, but I don't have a Hot Wheels car yet. But I know I'm going to do it eventually. I really want to do that. So we have more speed humps here. Let's see. So this one is visible with no snow. Yeah, so now it's slowing down now that it can see it. So very cool, very interesting. Anyway, I think that's all. Please, if you have some more questions, here's people and dog. Show the dog. Oh, you're making me a liar. Showed 2 people and no dog. If you have any more questions that I did not answer, please. Oh, we moved over for those people. See? Okay. They stayed over there. Please ask those questions down in the comments and I will answer those. And this video will serve as kind of a database for all those common questions, and I can, redirect people here. And hopefully those answers are good for you. So hope you enjoyed this one. I'll let the car keep going a little more. So now you can see what it does. Let's see. Very good. Wow, cool. A little close to that minivan in my opinion, but it did a good job. I'll let the car keep going with no destination and see if we can find some cool scenarios. But otherwise, you will see me and Full Self-Driving Beta in the next video.
So Autopilot and I are happily driving along.
So we got this UPS thing here. Let's see, come on, pass him. Nah, you're messing up. See, if it would have aggressively passed, we would have been good. Oh, now it's going to. Oh, yeah, too close, too close. I'm sorry, I'm not as brave as some of the other testers. Oh, I just couldn't handle it.
So Autopilot and I are happily driving along. So Autopilot and I are happily driving along. So Autopilot and I are happily